who I mentioned earlier. Stop signs. Appreciate the fact that they do have the route number and name on them, which is something that's been removed from most Phoenix bus route signs lately. Oh, and it looks like there's a posted schedule next to it as well. Well, that was a super quick trip. So it's 12:42 p.m. now. Still Friday, March 25th, 2022. And yeah, so that bus only runs hourly, which is a little bit disappointing. But it's kind of neat when you get here at the where the route starts by the light rail. There's a screen that tells you how long until the next train. It also has information, a map there, and they have stop numbers as well. I'm not quite sure how that's used, but every stop has a number, just like Phoenix. But that's a pretty abysmal bus schedule right there. I like to complain about the Route 44 in Phoenix, but yeah, ouch. Only once an hour from 6:02 a.m. until 6:17 p.m. So yeah. It's only servicing half the clock, and yeah, that's not much. However, Google Maps told me it's about a 1.5 mile walk from here to my daughter's place, and I mean, I went ahead and grabbed that bus because there it was, but I can usually walk 1.5 miles in about 20 minutes, so that's doable for me. You know, if I get in later than 6 o'clock or whatever the heck time it said that that bus stops. Do really like this. So the light rail, and unlike Phoenix, which is pretty much all on the street, the light rail here in Portland, at least when you get out into the burbs, it is on street level in the center of town, but on the burbs, this looks to me like it's on an old freight. I mean, without researching or anything, look at this. This looks like it's on an old freight rail alignment. Just the way it looks and everything, and the way it has these kind of crossings. But that's it's a lot different than the Phoenix light rail. I mean, the Phoenix light rail is constantly stopping at red lights, and in many ways, it's not really any better than driving. In fact, it's not anywhere as good as driving, since it never goes faster than 35 miles per hour. And on most of the roads where the light rail is, drivers are driving faster than that. But it seemed kind of slow going through the center of town. And did have quite a lot of stops in the center of town. But once I got out of central Portland, it gets out here to the burbs quickly. A good portion of it goes underground. And then a lot of it is like this, where it's on what looks to be old freight rail easements. And it travels really fast between the stations. The stations are quite a ways spaced apart. Now, it does seem like there's people using it too, which is pretty neat. And to get completely off the subject, something I definitely noticed, and I didn't comment on it because I was just trying to get the story of what happened at Bullock's last night off my chest. But definitely one thing that I noticed is when I got on the SkyTrain at about 6 a.m., almost everybody that was getting on at 44th Street Station where I got on looked to be people that worked at the airport. They were mostly wearing either high visibility work vests because they work somewhere out on the tarmac, or they're wearing uniforms that would indicate that they work somewhere within the airport. And it wasn't until we got to East Economy parking that it seemed like a bunch of passengers piled on, which is kind of sad. The SkyTrain is such a great way to get to the airport, and it's just a shame that Phoenix is just so car-centric that everybody assumes that they need to drive. I mean, even for somebody dropping off a passenger, it's a lot easier to drop them off at the 44th Street SkyTrain station than it is to drive through that chaotic airport and drop them off the platform. And I hear the train coming. So this is something neat, and I didn't realize it when I got on my first train, but a woman, when I was on the way out here, an older woman, I asked her, I did have to do one train change, and I asked her what to do, and she's like, oh, you gotta put your pass there, so that's how that works. Valid till 3 a.m. I told her, it's like, oh, I didn't know you had to do that. And in Phoenix, you just got to have it in your pocket in case the transit security asks to see it. Anyway, I am here, Merla Road, Southwood 58th Avenue. Well, that's kind of neat. It tells you which track to get on. To the right for Portland City Center, and to the left to go out to Hillsborough. Unfortunately, this has been kind of vandalized, but I did find an app that shows me this map, so I've been utilizing it. The actual transit app for TriMet here doesn't seem to be nearly as nice as the Phoenix one. So I don't really have any plans. I'm just kind of killing time. My daughter's working graveyards right now, so this is a bit of her sleep time, and apparently so is her boyfriend. So I figured it'd be best for them to be alone. I just really wanted to let it, figure out exactly where she was, and drop off my suitcase. She said to get back there around 7, so I'm wide awake. I'm ready to have an adventure, just wandering in Portland. I got a transit pass that's good until 3 in the morning, and it's also kind of neat looking at the tracks. I mean, those look like real train tracks, not the rails and cement like what Phoenix has. So apparently that over there is a bicycle pedestrian, mixed use path, also separated from roads. So that's neat. I like stuff like that. Not such a fan of bike lanes or trying to ride bikes, or in my case, electric scooters, on streets where people are driving. All right, there's a map. It's a little less vandalized. So I basically came in at the airport, PDX, right there, and this is a very stylized map. Now looking at Google Maps, it was able to show me a little more realistically where it goes, but most transit maps like this tend to be stylized just to make them easier to read. But But yeah, I was kind of surprised when I got on the plane. One of the things I looked up was transit in Portland, and it was like, oh, it goes. There's a line called the Red Line, goes from PDX Airport to Beaverton. Wow, that's exactly where I'm going. So yeah, it goes through, and this is all downtown. Of course, this is not the scale. And it comes out here to the focus phone. There we go, to the Beaverton Transit Center, which interestingly enough is not in downtown Beaverton. Right there where it says Beaverton Central, that's in downtown Beaverton. But that's fine. I rode it all the way to there, and that's when I met the really nice elderly woman. I just asked her, I was like, hey, if I'm continuing to go west, where do I go? And she's like, oh, follow me, I'll show you. She was very helpful. And it just so happened she was getting off at this station here, so she was able to show me exactly where I was getting off. So yeah, just 4 stations past where the Red Line ended. And this show's going all the way out to Hillsboro. So she was talking about how they're planning on making these routes go even further west, so that's kind of neat. I don't know if that's another train or what. It sure looks like it is, going out to Wilsonville. It's weird that would be another train rather than the Red Line just turning and going that way, but who knows? Oh, yeah. Oh, there it is. WES Commuter Rail. So that's not a Max line. It's, oops, sorry. I don't have the WES Commuter Rail. So it's a different thing. Kind of tempted to get off there just to do a little exploring, but I think it'd be more fun to go to the center of town, even though I've heard there's a lot of crazy people there. It can't be too much crazier than what I'm dealing with over at 27th Avenue and Indian School on the Blade, or 27th Avenue in Bethany. So, and after getting mugged a week ago, I'm pretty much on guard for anything. So, I think there's a screen that showed me how long it would be till the train showed up, but I didn't see it.